to fight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. I wanted to do a follow-up on the so-called lost refugees. I got to thinking that back in March of 2017, something was said by someone I know quite well. Now, in this clip, this person talks about different refugees, but I don't think that's the point. Rather that many people feel this way and politicians are ignoring them. This was back in 2017 when your views didn't matter, and it was just after the fact that the mainstream media had just fixed the general election for the Liberal Communists, and your views really didn't matter, unless of course you were either a communist or located in socialist Ontario or Quebec. But as we all know, things have a funny way of turning around. Just ask Kathleen Wynne for one. I think these comments are just as relevant today as they were then, perhaps even more so. Here's the clip, which is from CPAC, which is the Canadian version of C-SPAN. Enjoy.
All right, let's take a call from Michelle, who is calling from Ontario. Hello, Michelle.
Hi there.
Hi.
I'm pretty disgusted, actually, with the budget because I don't believe that there should be any gender equality necessary, which might seem strange coming from a woman. But to be honest with you, all I think this is pandering to his special relationship that he's got with Donald Trump, which I've got nothing against Donald Trump, but there's a major difference between the USA and Canada. Our Prime Minister is putting in carbon taxes right, left and centre, as well as in Ontario with his cohort Kathleen Wynne. And, in order to make things easier, he should get rid of that. And the other thing I'm not happy about is the fact that he's giving Canadian money all over the world to third world countries to provide jobs for them, and he should be providing jobs for Canadians. And not only that, there's nothing in the budget anywhere that mentions anything about how he proposes to pay for all these refugees that he's welcoming into the country with open arms. So I'm interested to know where that fits into everything as well.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions about that. Are you saying we should not be welcoming refugees from Syria and from other countries right now?
Not open borders, no. I don't agree with it at all. I
don't think we technically have open borders. I think we allow a certain number of immigrants and refugees every year.
What would you call crossing over Manitoba then, with the RCMP helping people across with bags and luggage and stuff? What would you call that then if it's not open borders?
Well, I think that's people who are coming into the country illegally and then are being put into the system that way. And some of those people were arrested, and in the same way that anybody crossing a border into another country would be dealt with. And if they're legitimately seeking asylum, then that's determined through the process, right?
Right, but to me, asylum is given the first country that you leave from your homeland. We shouldn't be accepting them for asylum purposes.
Okay, so I mean that's a different issue, obviously, but let's.
Well, it isn't, because we still have to pay for them as Canadians from somewhere. So that is a big concern to me.
Okay.
But more of a concern, like I say, is the fact that we've got carbon tax being added on, which is making Canada extremely uncompetitive. We've got hydro rates skyrocketing in Ontario, and we're losing jobs and businesses across the border. And, rather than see money going to third world countries, whilst I accept that we have to do a bit to help every now and again, we should be looking at Canadians first. There's so many, as a woman, there are so many other women who I know that we are the main breadwinners because their husbands are not able to find work. I don't find that acceptable.
Okay. And I want to come back to your comment about gender issues, though. What was your concern about the fact that this issue of gender equality was addressed in the budget, at least in terms of some language around that? What was your concern?
I just don't agree with it. I just don't think it's necessary. Why don't they just have a men's budget then? Like, it's divisive.
Okay. So you don't want the government to look at things through the lens of gender, I guess, is what you're saying.
No, I don't. I don't think so. I don't think it's necessary. I think all this has come about because of Ivanka Trump and, oh, yes, let's have women, we must encourage women entrepreneurs and all the rest of it. Women entrepreneurs are happening because men can't find jobs, so women have to get out there and think of things to do. There's a need. There's not a question of wanting to do. It's a necessity.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much for your call. Appreciate it. Natasha is calling from Ottawa. Hello, Natasha.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just laughing at that other caller that called in. You know what? She hit it on the nail. And this budget is a joke.
Why do you say that?
Because it doesn't address anything. The government...
You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab, and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments at Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio. And please click on the like button. And you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Moments tab.